Hey, what's up traders? Welcome to today's video. Look, this video is a trading recap of the past 5 days. This is actually day number 1 that we're recording this. However, this video is going to span all the way from Monday the 23rd through Friday the 27th. As far as trading goes, we are trading only SPY options, only looking for going either long or short depending on the RSI. I made a video on Friday, this past Friday. You can check out that video in the card above, but I made a video about trading off of the RSI. There were a few things I left out of that video. It was a very basic, simple explanation of the RSI, the relative strength index, and how you can possibly trade off of it. I did that today, and I'm going to show you what we gathered. I used $647 to go into 3 options today. 2 of them I bought in the money, and then 1 of them I bought out of the money in order to grab just a few dollars extra of profit, because it was way overbought. I bought a put option that was way out of the money, I think for $30, $25-30, and made $12 on that. Anyways, let's jump into the screen here. Let's jump in and see what we've got. You can see we're here on the SPY chart. This opened right around 357.25, right around there. It immediately went into an overbought position right here. You can see on the RSI, it jumps into the red right there. And I prematurely bought 2 put options, and I bought 2 put options at the 359 strike price with the 25 November expiration date. So a 2-day expiration date. And immediately that started climbing and it skyrocketed. It really, here's the thing. It was overbought, which was great, but I didn't wait for it to correct and get confirmation, and that was a huge mistake. So at one point, I was down a solid $145 to $148. That was painful. However, it did end up turning around and it started moving down, and that's what I was banking on. You could see in this chart here how it was absolutely overbought for a long period of time. I believe that was this whole time here was 14 minutes, literally 14 minutes of stress on my life, that I was just watching this thing climb higher and higher, and it was honestly getting me a little bit down in the dumps. Then it turned around and it started moving down. You could see it became sold here. At this point, I was up, let's see, I was up about $38 to $40. At this point, I had bought a 3rd option. It was the one that was way out of the money, and it was all that I could afford with the dollars that I had available to trade with. It was like $70 that I was up at one point. However, we turned around and I just waited because I felt like this could potentially move down more. And here's why. If you switch over to the 5-minute chart and you look at this, this was our overbought section here that was spiked up, and then it turned around and it came down. This right here would have been the oversold section that we looked at on the 1-minute chart. But on this chart, it shows it only about halfway down. And so I use the 5-minute chart. I'm finding the 5-minute chart keeps me way more relaxed. I use the 5-minute chart to say, hey, this still has room to fall. It might correct, it might come up a little bit, but it's going to keep falling in my estimation. And sure enough, I was correct. It came up a bit, and then it started to really plummet. And I saw that there was a strong downward movement, quite the sell-off. It never actually became oversold, so it still has the possibility to do that today, because for the most part, SPY tends to become overbought and oversold at least once per day on average, generally. So be aware of that. I'm just generalizing here. But it did come quite low. I think I sold at 10.24, and so let's look at the $1. Let's look at the 1-minute chart. On this, 10.24 was right here. I sold right at the bottom of this candlestick. And so I walked away. I had bought an option when it was super high. I bought a put option out of the money. And so that actually helped to bring up my profits just a little bit. It kind of gave me that extra boost. I ended up closing out, I'll let you see I ended up closing out profitable $139. And so I will throw a screenshot up right now. So because I used $647 for today's 3 options, I bought 2 options with 1 trade, and I bought a 3rd option with a 2nd trade. Because I used $647, that $139 of profit comes out to be a 21.4% profit on this, on that amount of money. So we're looking up. Things are off to a great start for this Monday. We are racking up those dollar bills, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the week. I will see you guys tomorrow.
The next day.
Hey guys, welcome to day number 2. Today, let me just say, was successful. Yes, we made some profit.
Nice.
Super pumped about this. Not as much in percentage as we made yesterday. However, it was definitely worth it. So let me just share with you, kind of do a recap of what happened today. It's been a couple hours since I actually sold my position. It was a 28-minute trade. I bought in at 9:35 and sold at 3 minutes after 10. So a 28-minute trade. And we collected $175 in profit, which was a 10.5% gain on the amount of money that we used. I went in a little bit heavier today with $1,640 and used that money across, I believe it was 5 different options. And so what I did is same thing as yesterday. I went to my 5-minute chart and I looked at when SPY was becoming oversold. When it becomes oversold, it's basically the price is good to buy in. It's like if toilet paper is on sale at the grocery store, buy toilet paper because it's a low price. So it became oversold on the 5-minute chart. I looked at my 1-minute chart. It looked promising for a reversal. And I also checked out my 180-day 4-hour chart as well as my 1-hour chart because I wanted to see how things balanced up against each other. Disclaimer, it did not actually look that good when it came to the 4-hour chart. It was moving sort of in the opposite direction, and so it was a little bit of a risky play on my move. However, I felt like there was profit to be made. I did my technical analysis, and I found it to be worth it. So as it became oversold, I used $1,200 to buy 4 options. They were $300 a piece. I bought those 4 options. It became more oversold. It continued moving down. So I used $300 to buy another option. It moved down still even further. I had $40 remaining, and so I used $40 to buy that last option. And what do you know? It worked out in my favor. Definitely worked out in my favor. It hit the bottom of that oversold on the 5-minute chart, and it quickly reversed. I caught the reversal. It started skyrocketing. I got up 10%, and I told myself to not be greedy. I'm not trying to hit home runs. I'm trying to hit singles, consistent singles every day. And then eventually maybe we'll get a home run. But today could have been a home run had I held out longer. And I'll show you what I mean on this chart. On the left here, this is how I have my screen set up. I'm testing it to see if I like it. It worked for me today. On the left, this is my 1-day 1-minute chart. On the right, this is my 1-day 5-minute chart. I have my RSI on the right. You can see right here where it became oversold in that blue. I bought when it barely hit the blue, which was 5 minutes after the market opened. It continued to move down. So that's when I averaged down. And then it turned around and reversed up. And let's see, at 10:03, it was right as this was sort of growing. It was honestly a really fast trade. Let's zoom in here. Let's see, 10:05. So like right between these two, literally just came up from here came up to like right around here. And that was it. I cashed out. And you can actually see how much further it continued to move throughout the day. I sold out here. It continued to move up. I like to look and evaluate what it would have been like had I held it. Not as a regret move, but I want to see, am I on the right path? Am I on the right strategy in order to make money in the stock market consistently? Generally, on the 5-minute chart, it tends to become oversold and then overbought. And so you could technically, I guess, wait for the overbought area, which would have been right around here. And, you know, at that rate, that's $2 in positive price movement, which times the 5 options that I had would be 1,000. And then, you know, I had a delta of 0.6 averaged. And so that would have been $600 of profit right there. I was buying mostly in the money. 5 of my options were actually in the money. 1 of them was out of the money. The out of the money option, let me just pull this over here for you so you can see. Down here at the bottom, here are all of the positions that I took. Here's all the positions we took. We took weeklies all on the expiration of 27 November, which is super risky because that's the day after Thanksgiving and the stock market is only open until 1 p.m. So That made me a little bit nervous. However, I was okay. I made it through. These are all the current prices, market changes, and all that. This delta is 0.83, 0.81, 0.32. That's not what it was when I traded them. It was like more like 0.63, 0.61, and 0.12 is actually what those were. You can see the profit for the day, $133 on one of those options. I actually had 4 options in that strike price. $37 on the next option, which I had 1 option in that strike price, and then $5 profit on that final one. I had 1 option in that strike price. So those are the options that I used. Thanks guys for watching today. Looking forward to trading tomorrow, and hopefully we can make this a 3 out of 3 for the week.
Tomorrow.
What's up guys, and welcome to day number 3 of this week's trading. This is the trading recap, day number 3. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the video this far. Let me start out by saying we've had a green week this week. I don't think I'm going to be trading on Friday. Of course, tomorrow, Thursday, or by the time you're watching this, it was probably yesterday was Thursday. Thanksgiving Day, markets are closed. Friday, probably not going to be trading. And so today is day number 3 where I am showing you my profits, thankfully profits. I've been very careful about how I'm trading, how I am approaching the market, and how I'm doing my technical analysis. And I believe it worked out in my favor, and we are absolutely rolling in Benjamins. Well, in one Benjamin. So let's jump into my computer here, and I will show you what we've got. All right, so right here on the left-hand side, this is SPY. We're trading SPY again. This whole week is SPY, and we're basing most of our technical analysis off of the RSI. That's really where we're putting a lot of the focus and the attention into plotting these snipe positions. So on the left hand side we have the 1 day 1 minute chart, and on the right hand side we have the 5 minute chart. It is the 5 day 5 minute chart. So on the left you can see market opened, it suddenly fell. Market opened and it pulled back pretty significantly. We call that the 10 o'clock drop, or at least I do. I have a video explaining my theory on this, but around 10 o'clock most days you see a pullback on the S&P 500, which the SPY ETF reflects. So around 10 o'clock, 9:45, 10 o'clock, we see a significant pullback. It goes into an oversold state. On the 5 minute chart, which is really where I'm trying to place most of my trades from, it's more of a broad overview of the S&P 500 without such a minute look at everything. I'm trying to place my trades there. I jumped in when it became oversold. It continued to drop a little bit. I should have waited for the re-entry. I should have waited for that oversold position to curve back up in the RSI so that I could not have to suffer those continual drops and ultimately collect more profit. However, got in when it was oversold on both the 1 minute and the 5 minute chart, held it throughout the day. It took a few hours. It's now 1 p.m. and I just closed my trade about 15 minutes ago. So it was a solid 3.5 hours. However, we closed up $101. That was 5.5% of the positions I took. I bought into 2 different options strike prices. One of them was in the money, one was out of the money. And the ones that were in the money, I think I bought 4 options there. And then the one that was out of the money, I bought 3 options. My deltas were 0.68 for the in the money and 0.13 for out of the money. That 0.13 moved to 0.14. I just waited for the confirmation that a reversal had occurred. And honestly, we were trading in a pretty stagnant market. It did turn around about an hour and a half ago, and it started to move up a little bit. As soon as this crossed over, you see this giant spike here on the 1 minute chart. As soon as it hit that second candlestick there, I sold out because I did not want to run the risk of a reversal and then getting caught with losing money. Market's going to be closing in a few hours. I don't want to play an unsafe move. Now, looking back in retrospect, it looks like I had the right idea, the right plan, and I like to look at where the market's going because I want to know if my plan and what I'm doing is actually making sense. The market continued to climb. Had we held in there, we'd be looking at another maybe $75 to $100. I guess. Yeah, another 75 to $100. I'm not crying about it. I got out with 5% and I'm profitable. Green for the week. You really can't ask for much more than that. I guess you could, but I'm not going to. Very happy with how things turned out, and I will just pull this over here so you can see it. We bought the 359 and the 368 call options. Bought 4 of one and 4 of the other. You can see overall this turned out really well. My 0.68 delta moved up to 0.74, and my 0.13 moved up to 0.14. And so definitely made some money on those. We are up overall for this week, $415. My goal was to hit 500, and maybe we would have hit that if I was to have traded on Friday. I may or may not. It just depends on if I see some opportunity. However, I'm not going to rush into anything. Remember that not taking a position is a position. It's better to err on the side of caution than to blindly jump into something, or jump into something when the market is a little bit rough and make a bad move. So don't rush anything. Plot your trades, do your technical analysis, your due diligence, and make educated choices. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like the video and want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit the thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, as well as consider subscribing so that you do see more videos like this. Hit the notification bell if you feel so inclined, and as always, I will see you guys on the next video.